My name is Anthony. I'm from Waverly, Tennessee. I'm 35 years old. Um, I grew up here, born and raised. My parents were together until the time I was 10. When they got the divorce, that's when I really learned how to become a manipulator. That's where things kind of started for me.
I grew up in a very Christian home. My grandfather was a minister in Memphis, Tennessee. We knew all about God. We went to church, but unfortunately I never really developed a relationship with God. I knew about the rules and that everyone went to church, but I didn't really know what it was like to genuinely serve God.
Things seemed really good on the outside looking in, but I started experimenting with methamphetamines and pain medicine and alcohol. And eventually it started taking over my life.
I was so down. I had no income, no job. I was divorced. I was living with my parents. I was broken inside, just completely broken.
I fell back to using drugs and to drinking all the time, and got real absentee as far as being a father. And I was introduced to methamphetamine. And all hell broke loose. My whole life. You know, in my mind, for some strange reason, I was still a good guy and I was still a good dad. You know, and at this point, when all this happened, I hadn't seen either one of my kids in 3 months straight.
My mother had completely given up. She wouldn't even answer the phone. It took her 2 months of me being in jail before she would even speak with me. I had burned bridges with my sisters, my aunts, my uncles, and I deserved that from the way that I treated them.
When I got to the center, it was strange. Everybody was hugging me and we're glad you're here, and you know, just all this crazy stuff. Wow.
I had thought, you know, a recovery center rehab, I had thought of like a hospital setting, you know. I walk into the Hope Center and it was a house. You could feel the love, the warmth there.
The Hope Center is like a big family. You have a lot of guys and we all come together and we all know each other's struggles and we all keep each other lifted up in Christ.
It was so foreign to me and so strange to me that it struck a chord in me that I decided there was something else going on here. There was something bigger than I was at work.
It's a place where you can come and you can learn how to cope and you can learn how to deal with life and you can develop a relationship with God that can help you to never be the same.
My kids never skipped a beat. They made every corner I made, and they were right there. And you know, I don't deserve that. Nothing that I've done deserves that. It's only God's grace and His mercy. That's it.
Sometimes I look at the old Rebecca before she came into the Hope Center, before she developed a new relationship with God, and it doesn't even seem like the same person. And I'll never forget when I was in the Hope Center being on the phone with my mother. She said, "Rebecca, it's like I'm on the phone with someone that I've never even met before. It's like you're a daughter that I never knew, and I never knew that we could be like this." And I'll never forget that day.
It sounds strange, but I always knew, always. When I made that wrong turn and when I kept going that direction, I always knew that there was more for me. I always knew that I was, and I don't know any other way to say it, but I always knew that I was better than what I was and who I was being, and who I had allowed myself to become.
One thing that I used to pray about at the Hope Center was one day just let me tuck my kids in. Today, I'm able to tuck my kids in. We say prayers at night. We are a godly family, and I'm thankful for that.
It's truly amazing what God can do with our lives when we are willing just to walk with Him, you know, to forsake what we knew and to walk with something different and try something new. God honors that. And so it's a completely new life.